This is the remains of the old dam on the Stevenston Burn in the Kerelaw Glen. It probably originally supplied water to drive a waterwheel that helped to drain the Deep Shank mine. Later it seems to have supplied water to the Stevenston corn mill, which was owned by Patrick Warner of Ardeer House. The dam seems to have been deliberately breached. It may have been done during the Second World War, as often redundant structures were used as practice for the use of explosives. Mill ponds were potentially dangerous, particularly with drowning. In 1867, a John Trainer, who was a cabinet maker, went there with his friend. It was a hot summer day. When he went in, he went beneath the surface and didn't resurface. It was found to be over 18 feet deep, and it took over 2 hours to recover his body. The burst section of the dam seems to suggest 2 phases of construction. At first, the water would be supplied through a pipe down into a lade that run where the path now is, down to the site of the Deep Shank mine. Here a continuous belt of buckets would remove the water. A second phase of construction seems to have greatly heightened the dam. This would mean that the mill pond behind would hold water for longer to supply the corn mill with the water it needed. Also a sluice was placed there. You can still see the metalwork of that. Water would run through a culvert and then run into the lade. The wall facing the upstream side is extremely well built with ashlar blocks. The downstream side at some point has been covered with a layer of concrete to prevent the erosion of the blocks holding the dam together. The millstones from the old Stevenston corn mill have been preserved. This corn mill seems to have ceased working sometime between 1910 and 1940. The Deep Shank mine closed some point early in the 18th century.